Hey guys, it's Kells here today, and I'm back at it again with another video. You guys know the drill. Come on in, come on in. When you get in, jump in the comments. Let me know you're here. Let me know what you're sipping on, and yeah, let me know where you are watching from. Today is a little bit different. First of all, I'm in a little bit of a different background because it's just a lot going on, and so we're in this little temporary background. And two, you might be, there's a lot of shadows. Hold on, let me see if I can get rid of some of these shadows. And so you might be wondering, I don't know if you can see, hold on, let me see if I can fix this. You might be wondering why your girl is rocking why I'm all Africaned out today, okay? Because I am Ghanaed out. This is a Ghana print head wrap. Yes, sis. And this is a Ghana medallion necklace. You can't even see all of it, but look at that. Yes, I had a friend who went to Africa, went to the motherland, and brought me back a whole bunch of just the most beautiful things. And plus, today I went to the National Museum of African American History and Culture. Hey, Kamaria. I went to the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And, I had to I had to represent. So that is why I'm all cultured. I'm doing it for the culture tonight. But you guys know the deal. When you come on in. Let me know. Jump in the comments. Let me know if you can hear me, you can see me. Let me know if it's all pixelated or anything like that, because Comcast be doing the absolute most and messing up my internet. So let me know if everything is cool. And hey, Megan. And also, not only let me know where you're from and let me know where you're from, but let me know what you are sipping on. Hey, listening from London, Vix. Hey, Kamaria. Thank you. It's fine. Megan, what's up? Um, Megan, you are not the only one here, sis. There are a couple people online. There are about 8 people online right now. So, anyways, that is why I am, hey DV, that is why drinking matcha, matcha tea, matcha green tea, Kamaria. That is why I'm all Ghana out, I'm all African out. Tina's in here from Atlanta. Hey girl, hey. Um, so yeah, I feel like an African queen. Yes. So I'm not gonna waste too much time tonight. We are going back to basics, dating 101. Of course, we are pulling an email from the It's Kells Collective at Gmail box. You guys know the deal. Hold on. Oh, let me tell you what I'm sipping on. As you guys can see, it's an It's Kells Collective mug. Link below, and squad mug. And you notice there's no tea bag. I'm not sipping on any brown. I'm not sipping on any brown wine. I'm just sipping on some red wine. So, cheers. Clink, 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 clink. So, enough of that. You guys know the deal. What we're doing with the It's Cows Collective is that you write into my Gmail account. Let me know you're dating drama, you're dating tea, you're dating rants, you're dating raves, anything you want to talk about as it relates to dating, modern dating. And I will bring it here to the collective, and I will give you my off the dome, candid feedback on whatever you email into me. But not only will you get my candid feedback, you will also get the feedback of the community, of the collective, which is you guys right here in the comments. Santhia, what's good, girl? Thanks for coming back. And so, as I always say, I'm not the expert on this. I mean, I am the vocal one, and I'm giving you my opinion on these things, but I am not the expert on this. What we're doing is we're learning from the collective wisdom of the It's Kells community, which is all of us. And we're like, talking about these topics and letting you guys know that you're not out here alone in this sometimes crazy dating world. Yeah? Okay, so I saw an email in the It's Kells Collective at Gmail box, and the subject line was how to start dating. So we're gonna have to go back. I'm gonna assume we're going back to basics, back to dating 101. And yeah, let's get started, shall we? Let's. I wanna sip. So before we get started, you guys let me know your dating basics, your dating tips, your date for your dating 101 tips, and chime into the comments as we get into reading this email that came in. So let me grab my laptop. Okay. It's a subject line, as usual, says, oh, not pixelated or anything like that, right? You guys can hear me. DB, let me know if it gets like all grainy and all pixelated. Uh, and I'll set something else up with it. Okay. So actually, let me check that before we get started because I don't want to. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we should be. Okay. So it says, hi, Kells. It says, please keep my name secret. Thank you. As I said, when you write into me, if you want me to keep your name secret, please let me know. And as a matter of fact, moving forward, that's all I'm going to do because I really don't want to make the mistake of um, putting out your name or anything like that and then you coming back. Great, thanks, DB. You coming back and be like, can you remove my name from the video that you did like 2 weeks ago? No, I just won't mention any other names. Okay, it says, hi, Kells. Hey, Miss Wall Street. Hey, girl, hey. It says, hi, Kells. I'm a 22-year-old female. In parentheses, look at me dropping my almost drop my dog on laptop, knock my eyeball out. It says, hi, Kells. I'm a 22-year-old female, virgin. I've only kissed one person, and I've never dated before. Well, I have, but they were more of your elementary, high school, quote unquote, boyfriends. AKA, I've got no real life dating experience. LOL. I guess I just wanted to know, where do I start? Like, give me a crash course. Dating 101, if you will. Where slash how to get a date. What should I wear? How should I act? What information should I share? What are some warning signs? Any books, resources to check out? Basically, I don't know what I don't know. Help a sister out. I'm trying to find a husband. LOL. She dead serious. Talk about LOL. She should have been like, and I'm serious. I'm 100. I'm dead ass. Also, another video topic, anything about dating abroad, to be honest. Okay. I feel like dating abroad feels safer in a way because your date might just think any mistake you make is a cultural difference. So maybe, hold on. So maybe they will be more patient to get to know you versus dating where you're from, you know? But, anyways, I love what you're doing. Your channel is super interesting. Thanks for reading it. XX. Kiss, kiss. Okay. Please keep my name secret. She done said that twice, put it in bold and brackets. So we are keeping her name secret. But yeah, so that is the dating 101 kind of how to start dating email that we got into the It's Kells collective box. If you're just joining us, the reason why I'm all Africaned out is that a friend of mine went to Ghana and brought me back these gifts, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna rock them all at one time. I just feel like a African queen. And also, I went to the National Museum of African American History and Culture today here in DC, and it was dope. It's like the third or fourth time I went, and it's super dope. So if you're ever in DC, or if you're ever thinking of where to go to make a trip for spring or so, come to DC and make sure to go to the African American Museum. So that is why you see my head tied up and you see me rocking my Ghanaian medallion, right? Yes, that is quite a bit she's mentioned in the dating, how to start dating Kamaria, but we're gonna comb through it little by little. Okay. So let's start at the beginning here. She says she's 22-year-old female virgin. I've only kissed one person. Okay. So the first thing I want to tell you is, while you might feel like, oh my God, she hasn't mentioned in this if she wants to keep her virginity. But I know she mentioned she's 22 and then she immediately jumps to, oh, I'm a virgin. So she might be feeling a little bit self-conscious about the whole virgin thing. And I would say, don't be. Don't be. There's nothing really to be self-conscious about. Just go with the flow and you'll know when the time is right. You know what I mean? And I know that's pretty cliche to say, but it is. You don't want to rush into anything that doesn't feel right. And one thing, like looking back, like if I had to look back at my like high school self or so, and they said, oh, tell yourselves, what would you tell yourself? I would say, learn to trust your gut. Listen to yourself. Trust myself. I trust myself. You trust yourself. Have that as one of your mantras, because I promise you, as you get older, you'll start to realize that your gut, your intuition, your guiding voice in your head, those things are very distinct, very strong, and you should lean upon them because they usually lead you in the right way. So if you got into 22 and you haven't lost your virginity, don't feel like, oh my God, something's wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with you. You are following your gut and you're following your intuition, and you're not being pressured into anything, and don't be. Now, if you feel like maintaining your virginity till you're married, then by all means. If you feel like losing your virginity, next week to somebody you think you're in love with, that's up to you. That's between you and your God, or you and whoever your guiding light, your universe, whoever you're used to guide, you use as your guiding force. um, but what I will say is that your virginity does not need to be on the forefront or the display. It is not something that you need to reveal to anyone. So, say for instance, you decide that, you know what, I'm not gonna lose my virginity until, in dating, we're talking about in dating, I'm not gonna lose my virginity until I get married. That is not something that you need to reveal as soon as you're on a date. As soon as it is not, don't look at it as a deal breaker. What I would say is keep that to yourself. Keep your cards close to your chest, to your vest, and find out as you're dating along. As if you find somebody that you really really like and that you guys vibe, then when you get to that point of like talking about that, you talk about that. But virginity and saving yourself and abstinence is not something that you need to be like, okay, hi, my name is Kells, I live in DC, and I'm a virgin. Like, it doesn't need to be in the first or second or even third date. It's not something that you need to hinge an entire relationship upon. So that's the only tip that I would give you as it relates to your virginity. But and being open with that and revealing that, that's something personal, and it doesn't necessarily, you don't have to lead a conversation with that thinking that, oh my God, I better tell them because I'm obligated to tell them about what I do with my private parts. Like, you're not obligated to tell them anything about that. So I would say, be comfortable with yourself, and when you deliver that message, deliver it with confidence that, yep, I've decided that this is how I'm gonna govern my life and govern my body. And that's not a conversation you have until you're with somebody that you really really like. um, okay, so that's the first thing I would say about the whole virginity thing. The second thing, she says she's never dated before. Well, I have, but they were more of your elementary school boyfriends, aka I've got no real life dating experience. Okay. All right. So she's 22. I'm wondering if she was in college or university, or she just went straight to high school and started working. Because typically, by the time you're 22, if you've gone to college, you've had some casual experiences like dating. And I think you might be thinking of dating as something extremely, extremely formal. Like, man asks, guy asks you out, do you want to go to dinner? You say yes. He picks you up in car, you meet there. Like, it's seeming like you're thinking dating is something extremely formal, when dating is really just code for getting to know somebody with the hopes that there can be something romantic and in the future, and gauging compatibility. So the primary thing of dating is you're gauging the compatibility between you and the next person, in the hopes that there is compatibility, and then you can go into something romantic or something more intimate. So dating doesn't have to be something extremely formal that you see like on TV, or something like that. With that being said, I'm a little bit of a traditional girl. You guys are probably hearing my AC kick on right now. I'm a bit of a traditional girl, so I do like to go kind of like, oh yeah, I do like a guy to say, hey, you know what? I'd love to get to know you better. Let's go. Can we go to dinner? Can I take you to dinner? Can I take you to lunch? What would you prefer? Are you available on Thursday evening at 6? I'd love to meet you out for dinner, if to get to know you. I am kind of, I do kind of like that kind of formal setup, but it doesn't always have to be that way, because at the end of the day, the date is about gauging compatibility, in the hopes that, yeah, this person feels good, and potentially this getting to know them, this relationship can develop into something intimate, something romantic. So you probably have been on some dates, or you have been in some situations where you're gauging and learning somebody, and and that can be considered a date as well, because the objective is still the same, to get to know them and to gauge compatibility. All right, what else does she say here? um she wants to know, where does she start. I just want to know, where do I start? Like, give me a crash course Dating 101, if you will. Where, how to get a date. So, what I would say about this is that the best place to, so what you're doing is very similar to like if you're trying to make new friends in a new city, or if you're trying to find your tribe, or if you're trying to find an organization of people that have similar interests as you. Is the same thing that you would do with dating, a basic dating 101. So say for instance you're in a new town, or you go to a new university, or you're working in a new place, and you're like, okay, I want to date somebody, I want to get to know some folks. What would you do? You would kind of maybe find an organization that is like maybe a cultural organization. Maybe you go and you're join the Jamaican American Student Association, or because she's 22, or so she's still around college age. Or maybe you are in the community and you're working and you join the Urban League Young Professionals Network, because you're a young professional and you want to be around other young professionals. So you join the Urban League because oh, they'll likely be African American or some sort of minority, and potentially you're interested in dating that time. So basically you have to kind of define or think about who you like, who you love to date, and then where might that person be in this city? Where might you find like minds? Yeah. Let me take a sip, because I tell you guys all the time. Every time we go on these lives, I just be talking up a storm. Right? And I see you guys in the comments, so I'm gonna jump in the comments really, really soon. So please chime in the comments. Let me know your thoughts as we go through this kind of how to start dating, a basic dating 101. Give me your comments, and I'm gonna jump in the comments in a bit. Meanwhile, let me continue giving my little two piece. Right? Uh, I see you guys' comments coming in. So yeah, you want to put yourself to start dating, to maybe start potentially finding new friends and new people that can maybe turn the relationships, can turn from friends to romantic, you know what I mean, or even start out as romantic. You go to places that you think like minds might be. So that might be community organizations, it might be student organizations, it might be meetup.com, where you go and you're like, oh, okay, there's a backpacking group, or there's a hiking group, or there's a black yogis, group. And so this is all people that love to do backpacking. Now, what I will say is this: if you're a lady and you're trying to position yourself in the best place to find a mate, you might notice that the places that you would pick are full of other women, are full of women. And so you might say, oh my God, I love to ballroom dance, salsa dance. I love to salsa dance. And on Tuesday nights at Cuba Libre is salsa night. And I'm going to go there. When you go there, it's just women all over the place. You have to think a little bit more like a man, right? So if you're like, okay, I like, say for instance, you thought, you would like Latin men, and you thought, oh, I'm gonna go salsa dancing. But when you went there, it was all couples and single women. Then maybe you think, okay, I maybe think, where would a man be who would be in that same mindset? Maybe he's at the cigar bar rolling Cuban cigars on the Cuban night, you know what I mean, at the local cigar bar. And so you go there and you like, oh, you want to roll cigars too. You know what I mean? So you do have to think, okay, where is a guy that I would like, who would have a similar interest as in mine, but where would he be? So if he's not, if you want like a Latin guy and he's not salsa dancing because there's all women in there, he might be at the cigar bar rolling Cuban cigars. And so he has an interest in Cuba or Puerto Rican cigars or anything, Latin cigars or whatever, South American cigars, or something like that. And so this guy would have similar interests as in that Latin kind of flavor as you, but he would be in a more masculine area than a more feminine area like a salsa dancing. Right. So you do have to think, okay, let me position myself in the right areas, but think like a man, because you'll find that you'll probably default to a place that's a lot of women, and then you'll be under the false pretense that, oh my God, the city's just full of women, like God is just all women, when in reality you're just looking in the wrong places because you're thinking like a woman. Right. So that's one little way. Now this is like you've asked for basic tips like basic dating, but the tips that I'm giving you right now, this is seasoned game tips, so consider yourself lucky, girl. Okay. Consider yourself lucky that you're just starting out in the dating game, but you're getting kind of some seasoned tips here, and I'm sure the comments are popping with tips, so make sure you're reading there as well. Okay. Oh, and YouTube has this new thing now that the comments in the live feed of this actually stay up once the video goes live instead of the live broadcast once the video gets kind of like a pre-recorded video gets um, up on the on YouTube, not like being recorded live. Like I feel like I'm stumbling tonight. The comments still, the feed of the conversation still goes, right? Another thing, as Kenny just mentioned in the comments, you might want to try online dating or app dating. Now, I don't do that. I've had my besties put me on, and I've taken myself off. I've tried for a couple weeks, and then I'm just like disgusted with it because I feel like it's just a bunch of creepazoids. Even when you do like Bumble or or Coffee Meets Bagel or any of those, I just feel like it's a bunch of creepazoids. So I'm not a huge fan of online dating, but it's absolutely a platform that you might want to try. What I will say is that I've only really casually tried the Bumble, Tinder, Coffee Meets Bagel, those ones, but I've never really tried, and you ladies let me know, I've never really tried the serious ones, like the ones that seem more serious, DB, like Match.com, eHarmony. I've never tried Black People Meet. I've never tried Christian Mingle, even though I would never try that really. Um, I've never tried any of those. So, my phone will help me tonight. Um, so yeah, so let me know if you guys have tried any of those serious dating apps because those might be better. But for some reason, I feel like dating apps are set up more for men and less for women. Consistently successful life says. So yeah, meetups. I like in person. I like they call freestyling, going out, dressing nice, and going out and feeling the vibe and the energy of the people that I want to meet, and stepping into a place and just kind of sitting back a little bit and observing and seeing who in there catches my eye or who in there looks like an interesting person to get to know or to talk to. I really like to do things in person as opposed to online. But it is an option. Okay. Kamaria says, I met decent guys from the serious dating sites. Which sites, Kamaria? All right, so what else does she say here? She's like, okay, so where and how to get a date. So we talked about that. What should you wear? Okay, so the first thing I have to say is that I'm gonna go with the femininity angle. I'm gonna go with the femininity angle. Now, granted, the easy thing to say is do something comfortable. Ooh, hold on, switch my ankle here. The most people say wear something comfortable. Wear something comfortable. You do want to wear something comfortable, but you do kind of want to make sure that you're feminine. You know what I mean? So that might mean bright-ish colors, nails done. That might mean hair out and not always scoop back into a librarian bun. It might mean show a little cleavage, and I'm not great at that because I usually cover up quite a bit, as you guys can see on my lives, but I'm working on it. You know what I mean? Like show a little skin, something, show a little shoulder, something. Put a little frilly, top off. It doesn't mean show your body and be like uncomfortable, but it means show the juxtaposition between the masculine energy and the feminine energy and bring that to the table because that is one of your assets that you're working with as a woman. And don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of that softness, that sexiness, that allure, that femininity, and start to work on being comfortable with that, particularly because you're a virgin and particularly because you're 22, and it's going to take some practice to get comfortable in your skin as a beautiful woman. You know what I mean? Especially if you chocolate and melanated, sis, you're gonna have to get into this melanin. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to start trying on clothes and walking around and putting on little heels and not anything too tight and restrictive where you feel self-conscious, but something that makes you feel good and beautiful and like, yes, I'm slaying, you know what I mean? Like something like that. So feminine, lean on the feminine skirts, something that shows a little shoulder, maybe a little cleavage, lipstick, makeup, brows, nails, pretty colors, you know what I mean? Something that shows the distinction between, bring something to the table that a man could never bring, right? Which is your femininity, your essence of womanhood, your grace. That's what you're trying to portray in your style of dress. And then comfortable and, quality, kind of quality stuff. And what I would say is go to the higher end stores, and if you can't afford it, look on the sale rack, look on the clearance rack, go to the season before, but don't always don't always get Forever 21 cheapness. You know what I mean? Like try to go to maybe the higher end stores and then look on the sales. Because that way you get the quality, but you save your little coin. Because you guys know I'm about saving a coin. Yes. Who's done their taxes? Has everyone done their taxes and got their money back, or am I the only one sleeping on not doing my taxes? Y'all did your taxes? So I'm about saving a coin because I don't have my tax refund yet. Hopefully I get a refund. So I'm just saving my little money, right? So you don't have to break the bank. It's just know where to shop to get the quality stuff for the prices that you can afford. Okay, so that's what you wear, sis. All right, so what else is she saying here? What are you guys saying in the comments? Chime in, let her know. Dating 101, what she needs to know. Okay, what should she wear? How should you act? DB hasn't done his taxes yet. Me either, bruh. Okay, so how should you act? You should act flirty. I think a lot of women sometimes, women and men, everything comes off as very professional. And I've spoken about this in previous videos. Everything comes off as very professional, very professional. Hello, how are you? What do you do? What did you study? Where are you working? Where did what's this and what's that? Because I think we're just so used to this very capitalistic society that's very professional in how we speak and converse with one another. But what you're really trying to do, as I mentioned before, is gauge the compatibility and get to know someone. So you don't have to interrogate them like you're on a job interview. But what you're trying to do is have casual conversation and actually listen to the responses that are being given so that you understand a bit more of who the person is, and then give them a little bit of who you are as well, so that there's kind of this reciprocal, you know what I mean? This reciprocal back and forth. Miss Wall Street says flirty, chill, try to make the guy feel at ease. It takes a lot of guts. Now, here's what I'll say. I would say flirty and chill, but I would not necessarily be focused on trying to make the guy feel at ease. At the end of the day, he is courting you. So it's his responsibility to try to make you feel at ease. But what you're trying to do is be comfortable with who you are and what you bring to the table, because that quiet confidence that you bring to the conversation and bring to the date will let him feel at ease. If you come to the table super nervous and trying to work too hard to make him feel at ease, it's going to come across that you're trying too hard and that you're uneasy and not confident. So what you need to do is just be confident in what you bring to the table. And if you have nothing to say, just listen. And don't always have to think of something to say. Say, tell me more about that. Or what are you reading? Are you reading anything interesting? Or when was your last vacation? Where'd you go? Where do you want to go? Like, ask a lot of questions. You know what I mean? You don't always have to be thinking of something to say or trying to make this guy feel at ease. You come to the date, chill, flirty. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, don't you look handsome tonight? You know what I mean? Well, I'm okay. All right. Well, who you dressing up? You dressing up for little old me? I like that. You know what I mean? Give a little flirt. Give a little bants. Give a little banter. You know what I'm saying? But be confident within yourself and just know that you're here to get to know this person. Like, if you were going on a job interview, when you go on job interviews, sometimes you're trying to overprove yourself to the person that's interviewing you. But the best job interviews, if you really kind of think about it, and you're kind of young, you're 22, so maybe you've not been on that many job interviews, but you will come to find as you grow, and if you are a working woman, you'll come to find that the best job interviews are the ones that are very casual, where you're getting to know each other, and where you go into it understanding that it's a mutually beneficial relationship, not a one-way street. You're not begging them for a job, and they're not begging you to be an employee, but you're trying to gauge compatibility. You're trying to gauge if this is the right team for you. And it's the same thing when you're dating. You don't over impress them, because then it's going to come across as slightly desperate. What you're trying to say is like, this is where my strengths are. This is where my weaknesses might be if they ask you. And I think, tell me about the organization and let's see. Can we is there a vibe? Is there a vibe in this organization? And it's kind of the same thing when you're dating. It's like, is there a vibe here? You know what I mean? But I will say is be a little flirty, because I feel like women nowadays are not so much reminded to be a little flirty. You know, you don't have to be so professional. You know what I mean? Like, be a little flirty and be quiet, confident within yourself, and ask questions and listen for the answers that the guy is giving you, and know the questions that you want to ask to try to gauge the compatibility. Now, this is very, this is when you're really seriously dating. If you're dating just to like get to know folks in the town, or to, just casually dating, then maybe you don't have to have, like, I'm not saying script out a list of questions, 10 questions you must answer, boom, 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 boom in the date. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that if you know, okay, my primary thing for a gentleman that I want to date, and potentially maybe be a fiance, maybe a husband, is he wants to have children. He has to see me as someone who could be the mother of his children. So that might be, you might ask a guy, a guy, you might end up dating some guy who has kids already. You know what I mean? Or you might ask him, or he might not have any children, or he might like, do you see yourself with kids? Like, are kids something you want? Or, the conversation might come up and he might mention his nieces and nephews, or he might mention that he has an older brother. And then you say, oh, you have an older brother. Okay. Oh, so do you have any nieces and nephews? Oh, yeah, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. How do you feel? Would you want your own kids one day? Oh, yeah, no, yeah. That's how because you know that in your heart, you definitely cannot date or marry. Maybe you can date, but you can't like be engaged or marry someone who doesn't want children, if you find that that's your primary thing. So you really have to know a little bit about what you're looking for. And then that way, in the conversation, you can make it casual and still get that test of compatibility out of the conversation, but casually and not so scripted, like you're interviewing them like a very professional job. All right. So, write down two or three things that you're like, yep, I want my husband, we have to have children. We maybe have to, live on the East Coast, because, our family, I would like, to live on the East Coast. And maybe he has to be kind of ambitious and like to travel, occasionally. And so, when you go into these dates, it's like you can lead the questioning or the conversation around these things to reveal the compatibility. Okay, so that's how you conduct yourself or how you behave. What do you guys think in the comments? Give her some more tips on what you say on dates to come off as calm, confident, but flirty, and still be able to gauge the compatibility of the relationship. Mr. Thug Life, what's going on? I don't want no scrubs, Kurt. Okay. So how should I act? What information should I share? So at the top of the broadcast, you mentioned that you were a virgin, and I said to you, that's not some information that you need to necessarily share right off the bat, because then you'll make it seem as if the entire relationship hinges on that, on that. And that's, unless you want that to be true, don't position it as such, right? So certain cards you hold close to the vest. Your virginity might be one of them. Reveal. I am a big fan of mystery. I'm a big fan of keeping some things a little mysterious, keeping it interesting, allowing for more things to be uncovered, allowing for a flower to bloom, and as the petals are peeled back, more and more is revealed. So I don't necessarily reveal every single thing, right off the bat, and I wouldn't suggest that you do that either. This phone is about to die, so I need to stop for 1 second and plug it in. So let me see if I can do this without annoying. Oh, yes, I found my plug. Okay, we're good. We're good. I think we're good. We're good. We're good. All right, give me 1 second. I don't know why I'm ill prepared today. Don't ask a guy to be mysterious, because mysterious to most guys, I have a wife and 4 kids. We're not talking about the guy to be mysterious. I'm talking about the ladies. So ladies doesn't mean, you guys always have this kind of negative connotation of the word mysterious. Mysterious is not talking about unsolved mysteries and lying. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is somebody earning depth. There's a sexiness in that courtship. As I mentioned in the last broadcast, we were talking about long distance relationships, And we were talking about how one of the appealing things about long distance relationships is that, you get to know somebody over the long term, and it's not this fast food, quick, just get to know them, get to know them thing that we're used to, this instant gratification society that we're in right now. And long distance relationships forces you to have a longer courtship and kind of this slow bubble and this slow percolation that a lot of people pine for. You know what I mean? People want that instead of this fast, quick, rip the band-aid off society. And so I think the mystery and the not revealing every single thing about you on the first and second date is very important to that slow courtship and that slow build that I think is there's sexy. There's a little sexiness to it. You know what I mean? So what I would say is you don't have to reveal every single thing about you, every degree that you have, every country that you visited. You let little things out, and you be very selective at the beginning, and as you continue to date and as you find that this person has invested in you, then you can invest in them. But if you put your full investment on the forefront, then 4 dates out or 5 months in and you've revealed everything there is to know about you, what's the incentive to keep getting to know you? You know what I mean? So you have to keep that in mind. Give me 10 seconds to plug this in. You guys continue to chime in on the topics. What should you reveal on your dates, on your first date? Is there anything you should keep and not reveal? And what should you reveal? 1 second, let me plug this in. Boom. She's back. All right. So oops. Okay, here we go. Oh, I feel a hot mess today, guys. I'm in a different setting. My light is a little bright. I'm in a Ghana African queen. Do you guys see this? Look at this. How gorgeous. God, I love presents. Okay. This header is from Ghana. Like this from Ghana, like motherland, like Africa. Okay. So I'm a big advocate, ladies, for leaving some things unsaid. And I think it goes along with the flirtiness, it goes along with the femininity, it goes along with the sexiness, it goes along with the I'm gonna let you earn getting to know me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let you earn this. And I'm okay with that because I have a lot to offer and there's a lot of depth, and you can keep digging and keep trying, and as I find that, yeah, I like this guy, then I'll start peeling back the flower, or the blooming, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I'm a big advocate for keeping some things unsaid. Okay? So she says, what information should I share? Do more listening. Do more listening and asking questions on your dates. Do more listening and asking questions on your dates. Have an understanding of what you're looking for and what compatibility points you're looking to understand, if you have, between you and your date. And then ask the questions, listen, ask more questions, smile, drop a little tidbits, then ask more questions. You know what I mean? This is what you're doing because you're listening. You're listening more than anything on the date. And you're allowing the man to, to court you and to speak and to let him know what he's all about. Now I will say this, you are 22 and you're young, and you're probably going to be dating these very, very young guys. um it's hard to date really, really young guys, I have to be honest with you. But if you take the advice in this video, you're going to be a little bit of ahead of the game, so you might find it difficult to implement some of these tactics of talking and listening and gauging compatibility if you're dating a 24-year-old guy, because a 24-year-old guy, he probably should just be working and not so much dating. But if you're dating maybe somebody closer to 30, and if you're really ready to get married, if you're dating somebody mid 30s or so, then these tips will work very well, because and they will see you as, oh my god, this very mature but young girl, and they might find that attractive in you. But if you're dating, just be aware that if you're dating somebody very young, they might not be able to carry on a conversation and really tell you about their travels, or whether or not they want children. Does a 24-year-old guy, will he be very clear on that? You know what I mean? Or will he be very clear on seeing you as a mother of his children, without gassing your head up. You know what I mean? Does he really have enough life experience to be able to tell you that? So it depends on what you're looking for, is what I'm saying there. And so take this with a grain of salt. All right, sis? Okay. So let's see. She says, what are her next question here is, what are some warning signs? Follow your gut. Trust your instinct. Listen to how you feel viscerally, like in your body and on your skin and in your head. Your intuition as a human being, as a woman, is very keen. And so, what I would say is, it's hard for me to just point out warning signs, but it's I can't just be like, oh, beware of this, because every situation is circumstantial, right? So, but what I would say is, listen to your gut. If something feels weird, chuck deuces on it. You know what I mean? If you go out and the guy's acting weird or uncomfortable, have a timeline in mind and say, oh my gosh, you know what, I have an engagement after this, but yeah, we can go till 7:30. I let it get to know you till then. You know what I mean? And then deuce out. You know what I mean? Like, but trust your gut. Make sure people know where you are, where you're going. Make sure you have a friend maybe call you and check in on you at a certain point in the date. If you're like new to dating and you're new to like going out to some restaurant or some bar or some pool place with some random guy, have loop your friends into where you're going and what you're doing, and trust your gut. And don't be afraid to say no, and don't be afraid to say yes. I find a lot of women sometimes are afraid to say yes, afraid to receive. And as a woman, you should not be afraid to receive. You know what I mean? So just as much as you say, no, no, thank you, be open to say yes. I would like to get another drink. Yes. I would like to have dessert. Yes. Let's go play pool. Yes. Let's stop for ice cream. You know what I mean? You don't, but if just as much, as if you feel like, no, I want to get out of here, then trust your gut. And that's the most I can say about warning signs. Um, and act on when your gut tells you something. Don't be the person that regrets, that kicks themselves because they knew it. You'll be in these situations where you're like, oh my God, I knew I shouldn't have. I knew I didn't like that person. I knew that person made me feel weird. And I just, I couldn't really pinpoint it. So I didn't really trust myself. And I went, and now look, he's making me pay for half the dinner. You know what I mean, sis? like, you know what I mean? Like, no, trust your gut, and the warning signs will be very clear to you. Do you guys in the comments, do you guys have any like better tips for what are warning signs? She's asking. I don't know. It's hard for me to just like throw warning signs out there. Okay. She says, any books or resources to check out? I would say YouTube. Just look at YouTube and Google whatever you're wanting to Google. I mean, you found us here on YouTube, and so we definitely can be a resource for you. There's a bunch of It's Kells Collective videos and a bunch of dating videos, dating in London, dating in DC, British guys versus American guys. So we have a bunch of resources here on the It's Kells Collective challenge, It's Kells Collective channel, and just It's Kells regular stuff and channel about dating resources. And then there are a bunch of other people on YouTube as well, so I definitely say check out YouTube. In terms of books, I do have the Aziz Ansari book, Modern Romance, but I did not are you not seeing us, Miss Wall Street? Are you guys seeing me clearly and everything cool? Let me know in the comments right quick, please. um yeah, should be good. Are we still on? You are blurring a bit. Okay, it's back now. Okay. Comcast. Andre, we're grainy. Okay. Let me see. Cool. Comcast be doing the absolute most. Oh my God. Now buffering. Tell me when you can see me. That is it clear though? Comcast. It's all good on my part. Okay. Thank you. Comcast. It's clear. Okay, good. Um, any other warning signs? Clink, clink, clink. Cheers, DB. Getting that sip on. Perfect, Audrey. Okay, thank you. Um, she wants to know warning signs, any books or resources to check out. YouTube. I did get the Aziz Ansari modern romance book, but I think it was just more of a comedic take on modern dating. And to be honest, I didn't really get through it because it was kind of cheesy. Um, so I would say YouTube. That's been my best resource. And just go back through the It's Kells videos, and I'm sure you'll find something there. Okay. Oh, this wine has got me like a little burpy burp. Okay, and let's see. She says basically, I don't know what I don't know, and help us sister out. I'm trying to find a husband. Um, and so what I would say is that you're not from dating to husband. That's a big leap, right? So you want the husband end game. You want the husband the end game of being in a marriage as the end game, like you want that in mind, but you have to understand that like the first step to that is having a relationship with somebody and getting to know somebody, you know what I mean, and seeing if you vibe with that person. And so I don't you have to be careful not to go into um the getting to know somebody part as, is this my husband, right? Because that's a huge leap, that's a big pressure, and that can throw salt in your game a little bit, you know what I mean? So I hope you understand what I said. What I'm saying is like, okay, yeah, end game husband, but first step, do I vibe with this person? Not first step, is this person my husband? Right? So there's a difference between, do I vibe with you? You know, can I, can we do I find you attractive? Do you turn me on? You know what I mean? Like that's like those are the first steps. And then you keep cultivating, revealing courtship until you get to the point where you're like, yes, I can't see myself without this person. Yes, this person, their lifestyle is compatible with the lifestyle that I want, and he's a provider and a protector, and he handles business, and I can see myself as soft and feminine around him. If you want to be a soft and feminine woman, and this guy is respectful, and he loves me and he loves my family, so this is how you start getting to the point of, oh, okay, marriage material. But you don't necessarily go into dating thinking, is this man marriage material? You know what I mean? Because you might be overthinking it a bit. You do keep it in the back of your mind, but also keep the whole first things first methodology in mind. Okay. All right. And then she was talking about dating abroad, and she's thinking that she might feels that that's safer, and because she feels like any cultural differences, any mistakes or missteps, socially awkwardness might be considered just cultural differences, and so she can like skate under the radar of being slightly socially awkward. As I said before, just go into it with a confidence within yourself, and just a security in yourself, and not doing the most to try to make somebody to overcompensate and to make somebody like you. That's not what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is you're trying to understand who they are with the understanding already of who you are and what you're looking for, and then you're trying to see where those two people overlap. So you don't want to do too much to try to fake who you are, try to contort yourself into something that you think this other person will like, because that's inauthentic. And at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to maintain that, right? You're going to be uncomfortable. Who's going to live a life of a lie? You know what I mean? Who wants to do that? Who wants to turn themselves into somebody who they're not, attract this person, and then now you're forced to stay this person who you're absolutely not, I guess, for however long the span of the relationship, you know what I mean? So what you want to do is, you're still putting your best foot forward, of course, but you're still saying, these are my likes, these are my dislikes, this is what I enjoy. What do you enjoy? You know what I mean? Ask them what they enjoy, what they like to do, what they like to read, what is their, mental, you know, hygiene practice. What are they reading? What's their, do they work out? Do they travel? Learning about this person and then say, oh my God, I love that. No, I love that. Oh my God, no, I love that. No, I love that. And that like kind of corny, but what you're trying to do is find where you guys overlap in terms of life and likes. And if you have enough of those, then that attraction, that relationship will naturally kind of build. When you do that overseas, it's a little more difficult because there are some cultural nuances, as you've recognized, um, and it's far away. So if your family, family is to be considered, when you're dating overseas and stuff like that. Now you can practice, your overseas dating, and that might be helpful. You know what I mean? That might be helpful if you're looking to practice. But in terms of serious husband material, it might be a little bit difficult just because of the distance. But if you don't care about the distance, then all of the things that we talked about right now will help you in your dating overseas as well. But it's not that much easier. You might be a little bit more comfortable because you might have the feeling that, you'll never see any of these people again, or you're in a different country, so you get to express a different side of you, a different personality, a different aspect of your personality has been revealed. And so you're excited about that. Um, and you're different, so everyone's giving you like different attention and things like that, and you're feeling it. And so it might seem like it might be a little bit easier. And it is. I will say, as that you guys know, Black women are received differently overseas. But it does come with its fair share of challenges. So I wouldn't say the grass is always greener. Everything comes with ups and downs, and it's whether or not the ups and the downs that come with wherever you are, whatever you select for your life, you can tolerate. What's your tolerance level for the downs domestically, and the ups? What's your tolerance level for the downs overseas versus the ups? You know what I mean? And so if you find that, what, I can deal with the downs here better than I can deal with the downs there, then you stay here. But if you're like, yo, I can't deal with the downs here, then maybe you go over the pond and find yourself a little Italian man. Anyway, so that is my kind of feedback commentary on the email we got, how to start dating 101, basics 101. Now I'm going to jump into the comments and see what you guys have been saying. Since the top of this broadcast, I'm not the only one who can give my opinion. You guys can jump in as well, because we are learning from the collective wisdom of the It's Kells community. Let's jump in the comments. What have you guys been saying? Okay. We got Chi-Town in the building, Detroit in the building, Atlanta. Hey, Tina. We got Vix G, Ginger T from New York. Kamari says, wow, that's quite a bit. Personally, before I found my beau, I worked on myself. I learned who I truly am and what I like and believe. And I believe education is very important. So that's her point. Kenny was good. Bia was good. Ms. Wall Street says, keep your options open initially. Get to know the dude and what he's about before you commit to something. So, right. So don't feel forced to commit or latch on to one person. Listen, you gotta keep a couple people in rotation. You know what I mean? Because you can't have all one eggs in one basket. You know what I mean? And you're learning about yourself as a first time dater. So it's okay to date multiple people. That does not mean sleep with them. That does not mean, lie to them and commit to one person, say you committed when you're not. It means if you are dating, you are free to engage in conversations with multiple people to see until you decide, yo, me, you, clink, 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 we're monogamous. You know what I mean? But don't be so quick to lock down. I agree. I agree with Wall Street on that, because you're learning. You're learning about and you're polishing your skill in dating, and you're learning about, multiple people to better your chances. I mean, it's a numbers game to some extent, you know? Okay. Kamari says, one thing I learned is being open but not revealing too much, asking guys the vital things that are important to you without indicating where you personally stand. So you don't have to drive home the point of where you personally stand on everything. You can listen to where he stands on it and just have it in the back of your mind, you know what I mean? And continue on with the conversation. But I agree, you don't have to like, you know, be in a debate. You don't have to debate on a date, you know what I mean? So but you know it goes along with the mysteriousness, the femininity, and the courtship, and the elongating that process, and not just doing that quick, you know, burger, you know, fast food relationships. Okay guys, do me a favor, hit uh um click whatever, I don't even know what I usually say, that like button on this video. It helps me get noticed in this big wide world of YouTube. If you're liking what we're talking about tonight, if you're liking the It's Kells collective scenarios that we talk about in terms of modern dating, I would appreciate you to appreciate your subscription, and I would appreciate you to click that like button for me. All right. Someone joining programs, volunteering, being involved in groups. That's something of interest. Uh, she could get to know people over time. DB, it's like poking for the right bell pepper at the grocery store. If you hear that rebound, put it down. What? DB, what are you talking about? Open a Bumble account, Kenny says. So that's the online dating we talked about earlier. Successful Lady says, yeah, many of the sites are a hit and miss. I feel you. They a miss for me. They all deleted off my phone. Even Millionaire Match, sis. Deleted. Bye. No, can't do none of them. They're lame to me. And I feel like they open the door to a lot of guys who would never really talk to you in real life. If they saw you and how you put together or your energy, they would never talk to you because they could automatically see that maybe this woman is not necessarily one that is in my wheelhouse. But when you go online, all of them, homeless man down the street with a pay per click phone, want to jump in your DMs. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm a little weary of the online dating thing. DB says he's never done online dating. I feel like online dating attracts a certain type of guy, and you're going to get a better variety in person. Absolutely, 100% Miss Wall Street. I feel like a guy should be able to pull females in real life. He should be, you know, he should be able to command in real life. And if he can't, and he's online dating, like messaging a bunch of women, I don't know if he's where he needs to be the most attractive type of male. Now, I will say this dating game is tough. It's not easy. People are busy, you know. So the free ones, I would say absolutely not. Forget the free dating. But the paid ones, maybe like eHarmony or Match.com or whatever the paid ones are, I feel like it might be a little bit different because then you're getting a guy who's maybe serious about dating and finding a companion in his life, but maybe it works quite a bit or something, you know what I mean? Or lives in an area that, you know, lives in the middle of the country when his interests more aligned to women on the, you know, the coasts of the country or something like that. But maybe I've never done a paid online dating thing. So I don't know really how they work. But the free ones, you know, all of them, I think that it opens you up to a bunch of men that you would never really date in real life. And then it kind of puts a hit on your self-esteem because you're like, God, are they, oh my God, these are all losers. And, you know, then you start to feel like you attract losers, you know what I mean? And it might mess with your psyche. So before that happens to you, delete them bad boys and get dressed and go out to, you know, your neighborhood bar or go out to your neighborhood, you know, museum or whatever it is near you, dog walking park if you got a dog, and go smile and flap your hair and look cute and talk to some people. Everybody talk to them. And then, you know, I just think going out in person it just works better for me personally. What else are you guys talking about? DB says, I'm not knocking it. I just like the spontaneity of meeting a beautiful woman. I agree. Wear clothes that express who you are. So she was asking about what you should wear, and we talked about that. Maybe even a style you want to maintain. But put in an effort to look good. It's important. Sometimes I feel like as Americans, I feel like the dominant culture is very casual. You know what I mean? And just hair and a messy top knot and just like no makeup. They like no makeup and mascara. And I am of the opinion that putting a bit more effort in, putting in some popping lipstick, you know, Lord, I messed up my lipstick. You know, put on some popping lipstick, making sure your brows are fleeky. You know what I mean? Like make mascara and base and highlight and a little bit of contour. I'm not opposed to that, and I don't think like that's doing too much. I think it's adorning yourself. It's appreciating this body, and it's appreciating your youth, and it's appreciating your beauty, and it's knowing how to play up your beauty. And I think there's nothing stuck up about that. I think it's important to do that, and but I feel like a lot of people like to be really really casual because they're afraid to stand out. But I mean, let me tell you something, from you dark skin, you standing out. So you might as well not try to be sloppy and blend in. You might as well just be like, shoot, if I'm gonna stand out, I'm gonna give you something to look at and put your African Ghana necklace on and step out, sis. So you know what I mean? So like, you know, I'm of the opinion that looking good is respectful to yourself and to others, and you don't have to look sloppy because everybody else is in sweats and a cut off T-shirt. You know what I mean? So, my humble opinion. What else are you guys saying in the comments? Miss Wall Street says, nothing wrong with being a virgin at 22. Do what makes you comfortable when you are comfortable. 100% agree. Trust your gut. Trust yourself. Look in the mirror and say, I trust myself. Trust yourself. Your gut will tell you. Your instincts will tell you. It's sharp. You just have to learn to listen to it and lean into it. Best version of yourself. Kenny says, to be honest, guys in their early 20s are aggressive, so just get out and mingle. They will approach you as long as your vibe reads approachable. What does approachable mean? Approachable means, and I just read about this today, approachable means smiling. Approachable means talking to people around you. Approachable means a little bit confident eye contact, holding eye contact a little bit longer than you normally would, being a little bit flirty, you know what I mean? Being not being too scared and nervous and standoffish because that you think that you know if you're nervous it'll come across. So just being a little chill and relaxed, you know, smiling with people, being, you know, complimenting women, complimenting men. You know, if you see somebody, you'd be like, them shoes is banging. You know what I mean? Like whoever, women, men, you know, just being open to holding conversations with people will make you come across as approachable. What else makes you come across as approachable to you guys? What else might be as a woman? Like what makes a man want to approach a woman or look at a woman and say, she's a baddie. Would I be comfortable approaching her or not? Can you guys give me some tips on that? All right. Kamaria says, be sure to ask open-ended questions. Real and confident, that's all you need, says Kurt. Mr. Thug Life in the comments, gassing me as usual. Um, Kurt had said, don't ask guys to be mysterious because guys, mysterious for guys means a wife and 4 kids. So, as you know, you guys have to be able to take what I say with a grain of salt and understand that advice for a woman is different for advice for a man. If you guys want me to give advice specific to men, you have to write into my It's Kells Collective at Gmail box and give me male scenarios, and I will try to give you male advice. But as of right now, I'm getting, and I've gotten plenty of male emails in the past, but right now I'm getting a lot of women emails, so I have to give the women advice. And so when I say mysteriousness with women is not the same as mysterious with men. And Kurt is absolutely right. When you say mysterious with women, you're thinking sexy, you're thinking court me, you're thinking there's more to learn, there's more for me to give, keep going. And you're encouraging him to be engaged and invest in a relationship. When you talk about mysterious with men, you damn right. They talking about married with 4 children, divorced, separated, still living in a mama basement, but ain't gonna tell you, driving a friend car. Like that, mysterious for a man is totally different than mysterious for a woman. So you guys, so Kurt, you're absolutely right. But guys, if you want advice specific to you, write into It's Kells Collective at Gmail and give me some scenarios, and I'll give you my little feedback too. You know what I mean? All right. Hey, M.A. Maceo. Airborne Eclipse was good. Discipleship is truth transferred through relationships. So, what kind of things need to be shared with men? Very little about your sexual past, and much about your what a real relationship means to you. Good point. All right. So I've gone through the majority of the comments. You guys, YouTube has this new thing that when you put comments in this feed, they actually stay after the video goes live on my YouTube channel. This, you guys know, is a live broadcast right now. But yeah, we got an email from a writer who wanted dating 101 basic dating tips. And she had a bunch of questions. She's 22-year-old virgin, and we were able to walk through all of her questions and give her some really, really good advice on the basics of dating. But in reality, since this channel, we have discussed dating quite a bit. Some of the tips that we gave were a little bit more advanced, but all it's gonna do is put her above the game, when it comes to her dating pursuits and her ultimately finding her husband because that's what she wants. Um, Kenny had asked, what makes a woman approachable? I would say eye contact, smile, responding to compliments and likes. Don't be with a big group of friends. Men will notice you and their radar will sound off. LOL. I agree with that 100%, ladies. Sometimes you have to learn to go out by yourself or go out with one other woman. And don't be 100% solely engaged in the women with the women that you're with. If you are heterosexual and you want the attention of a man and you go out with a big group of women, or you go out with one girlfriend and all you're doing is sniggling and giggling with one woman or the group of women all night, and you're so engaged in the women's conversation, and you're not opening your body language up and looking you're not opening your body language up and looking and paying attention to the men that are looking at you and giving them the, hey, come talk to me, look, because you're too into the hens talking, you're not in the game right. You know what I mean? So you do have to be open body language, and even if you go out with one friend, not no big group of friends, be paying attention to who's looking at you, who's looking at her, and be a good wing woman for each other. I do have a video here on YouTube about the best type of wing men and wing women, which are the people that you go out with that are looking to help you find these relationships to, see if you're compatible with somebody. You know what I mean? But sometimes you do have to go out by yourself and just put yourself out there. You know what I mean? You got to shoot your shot. You got to shoot your shot sometimes. And sometimes that means going outside of your comfort zone, going in a place you would never think to go, going in a place where you think, you know what, this type of man might be here. Let me go there instead of let me going to where I know I would be most 100% comfortable. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to put yourself in the mindset of somebody who your opposite, or whoever you're trying to attract, not so much of where you feel most comfortable. Because as I said earlier, you might find that, oh, I want to go salsa dancing, it's all women, because kind of women kind of like the same things. But as I said, if you're looking for a Latin man, maybe a cigar bar where they're rolling Latin cigars might be a better bet for you. You know what I mean? And you could see how that space might be more masculine and attract more men, even though it would be the type of man that would have the same mindset as somebody who would want to go salsa dancing. Yeah. So let me tell you about the strategy Let me tell you about the strategy. You want a dating 101, but girl, sis, I'm giving you dating 1100. You know what I mean? We're on senior year of college right now with this dating stuff. So, anyway, I do these videos so you guys know you're not out here alone. And it's sometimes crazy dating world. If this is your first time here, I would love to have you subscribe. And if you're a returning viewer, an oldie but a goodie, good looking out. As usual, there's a bunch of you guys who always return, who have your notifications on, and who know who you guys know I go on Fridays, sometimes Saturdays, sometimes Sundays. And this past week I went on Monday just to surprise you guys, just to keep you guys on your toes. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I am going to jump for the evening. I want to thank you guys so much for coming on a Friday night and having us talk about dating 101 and giving sis who wrote into itscalscollective at gmail.com our little commentary, our little feedback on what she might consider as a new 22-year-old virgin dater, who, wants to know what she doesn't know. Right? So before you go, smash, smash, smash that like button. As Emma Macio says, I would so appreciate it. It helps me get noticed in this big wide world of YouTube. And if you're so inclined, if you feel like it, share these videos as well. And check out the link below for our It's Kells merch. We got some new merch in there. These are my current lips. We got some new merch in there. So if you guys are interested, then show your love. If you like what we're doing here, then to support the thing, right? Anyway, all right. Love you guys. Have a good Friday and see you guys soon. Bye.